Yes, yes, yes. Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's your boy again, ShadyShae, the one and only. And today, guys, we are back again. Guys, so guys, today's topic is very close to the heart and very important. How does it feel being Jewish in 2025? We are seeing a lot of noise, protests, conflict, anti-Semitism, but how does it actually feel for real people living through it? Today, we're diving deep, no filters, no sides, just truth. Truth, truth, raw truth. Okay, I'm here to ask the questions, and I'm here with also my guest to speak her experiences. And I'll be introducing Ori into the studio.
Hi.
Hello, hello, Ori.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hey. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
Amazing. Amazing. I just want to say thank you very much for being my guest today and thank you for agreeing to this. So I have a few questions to ask you, and
Mhm.
some will just be, just like a normal chat because I want to understand really how it feels because it's easy for people to talk about this topic, but for people that live through it, you guys know exactly how it feels because you are wearing the shoes. So,
Definitely.
first of all, can you please tell us where you are tuning in from?
So right now I'm in the Czech Republic. I moved here right after like 3 months, I think, or 4 months after the war
Mm.
started for studying. Uh,
Lovely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and how's life been in Prague for you so far?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like it did bummed me a bit because of the war, because like then it
Mm,
added a lot of additional, fears and worries that I
yeah,
wouldn't have otherwise.
yeah, it must be really
Uh,
tough. Must be really tough.
sometimes, sometimes it is, but I feel very grateful to be here.
So, are you Jewish?
Yes, I'm Jewish.
And do you have Jewish friends in Prague with you as well?
Not many. There is a very tiny community in here, and I
Mm,
really also want to and try to meet as many Czechs as I can and to assimilate and learn their culture if I'm here.
yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a part of the fun.
It's beautiful.
Uh,
Absolutely. I like that. Absolutely like that.
yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to even learn the language, although it's very difficult.
Must
But I
be
have
tough.
here and there, yeah, definitely. But I have some like we have like our groups. So
Mm.
if I ever want to meet with Israelis or
Mm-hmm.
Jewish
Mm-hmm.
people, I can. Uh,
I
yeah.
think that is really, really important. It helps one to settle in maybe a foreign land where you can meet with your community as well. It just helps the assimilation. So
Mhm.
how do you feel seeing what's happening today?
Uh, it's a big question. It's really like a roller coaster of
Mm-hmm.
emotions.
Mm-hmm.
If we're speaking when it just started, I think, and before I say anything, I would like to just really make it clear that anything I say, except if it's like pointing a historical fact, it's like my personal opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of all Israelis. I'm sure people have their different opinions, so I don't want to convey that perception.
Thank you
But from
very much.
my perspective, it felt like it started with a shock
Mm-hmm.
and really not understanding what's going on.
Mm.
It turned into combination of sadness and anger,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fear at times, because like we didn't know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
there was this few days that you didn't know at all what's going on, and we didn't know how far the terrorists have gone inside the country. So
Yes.
you could see everyone looking around, being very suspicious of everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Must have been really tough. I just want to pause a little bit to say, give a shout out to the people that are watching us live today. We have OP Yosef. Thank you, OP Yosef. We have FC Beta Alufa. Patre Chobi said, Yo, Shady, first time on your live. Thank you very much. And he said, I'm Jew from France and discovered your channel recently, living in Vietnam. And then we have Debo. So I want to say thank you guys for joining the live. So I'm going to jump right straight to the question, Ori.
yeah.
How has being Jewish shaped your sense of identity?
So from my point of view, until I got out of Israel, So until now, I didn't even acknowledge it. Like it didn't, like it was just who I am. It's just like if you would ask somebody how it feels like to be tall, because it's like that's
Mm,
all I know. That's
okay.
all like I lived in my small bubble,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a majority of Jewish people in Israel, so you don't really feel it in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, quite
Like
homogeneous.
yeah, like you're aware we live with a lot of Muslims. I studied with Muslims. I went to the army with Muslims. I met a lot of Christians as well, although they're a bit that like a smaller minority.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it didn't like I didn't feel it. I feel like ever since I moved here and ever since the war started, it really became more and more impactful in a sense, more meaningful, and I really feel it
Yeah.
now that I'm in a Christian country way
Mm-hmm.
more. So like I noticed that there are some maybe like values or I don't know ways that we see the world, like um, just like how would you say it, like
So the way you see the world is a bit different from how things has been seen here because you're used to a certain kind of way, and here you found a different kind of way, and you had a bit of culture shock as well, I would say.
yeah, exactly. And like just the way we think of some things, like some sentences that go along with me that
Yeah,
I've never even thought of, like where does it come from? And in
I
some way it
agree.
comes from Judaism. For
Mm-hmm.
example, we have a
Yeah.
saying Derech Eretz Kadma LaTorah, which
Okay.
means that your behavior and your demeanor and manners and being a good person comes before the Torah, comes before the religion. So
Mm,
even like the religion in itself acknowledges that the most important thing before even being religious is being a human being.
I
And I
love
feel
that.
like
Absolutely.
it, it's really
Love
something that
that.
is like intrinsic in many people, and at least for me,
That's lovely. So you mentioned growing up and serving with Muslims as well. So the notion that we have generally in the West, and not just the West, in the world at large, is that Israel are made up of white European looking people. But recently, someone sent me a clip to check out. They say, was it the Beta Jews or something like that? And I checked that video and I saw black looking people. It shocked me that there are black looking people. When I say black looking people, I'm not talking about mixed race. Because if they're mixed race,
Mhm.
I'll be like, okay, well, they definitely got married, it's fine. But people that look darker than me, I saw quite a
Yeah.
few of them. Then I saw people looking a bit Asian. I saw Indian kind of looking, and I was like, okay, yo, something's not right. Something's not right, or I'm being confused. How is that? How is the diversity in Israel like?
So it's really huge, especially where I came from. I came from a city that was quite diverse. Like you had many Ethiopians, Jews, so like
Mm-hmm.
darker skin and curly hair and everything, and you had also Ashkenazi Jews. You had Mizrahi Jews. Should I explain? Because I don't know if everybody knows, like
I
Ashkenazi and Mizrahi.
what does that mean?
So Ashkenazi Jews is the group that refers to all European descent Jews, or not descent. They
Oh,
originally
okay.
came from the Middle East, but they traveled in Europe for a lot of years, so they assimilated, and now you have like the white Jews.
I see.
Uh, yeah, and and you also have the Mizrahi Jews, which is partially what I am. So all
I
the
see.
Moroccan Jews, Yemenite Jews, Iraqis. It's a really huge group.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
darker skin or like tanned skin.
Tan skin, olive.
Uh,
Okay. Lovely.
yeah,
Lovely. Um,
yeah.
what are some aspects of your Jewish culture or faith that bring you the most pride and comfort? If you have something to say about that, something that you know.
I don't know if it's specifically from being Jewish or maybe like the size of the country, because I don't know if you know, but like it's a really tiny place. It's like 22,000 square kilometers.
I saw really
Uh,
tiny.
it's tiny. It's tiny. I
Yeah.
saw this comedian saying this hilarious thing, which I can agree that Israel is like the nipple of the Middle East because it's the most sensitive area of this place, and it's like exactly it's
Okay.
beautifully put.
Oh, that is so funny. That
Uh,
is so funny. Yeah. But I like that though.
but
Mhm.
I think what really makes me proud is the way we come together, the way we are
Mm-hmm.
really, really there for each other, and it's a really like warm, you know, open place. So like no matter where you go, if you'll need help in anything, most
Yeah.
likely that like most of people would try to help you. And I even saw this video like a few days ago. Somebody tried to do this challenge where she like just went to random people and did like a cheer with them with her
Okay.
glass, and she wanted to find somebody who wouldn't cheer with them, and she couldn't find one. Everybody, just random people. She just went to
Wow.
them with her drinks, like cheers, and they were like cheers, you know, like hi. Everybody
Wow.
is just like really welcoming. So yeah.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I just want to say to the people watching, if you have any questions you would like to ask as well, feel free to put them in the comment section, and I will be sure to make sure I ask Ori. So Ori, the third question I have for you: do
Mhm.
you feel like you can openly express your Jewish identity in public spaces these days?
So yes and no. It depends where.
Okay.
There are times where I like in here I feel mostly comfortable in the Czech Republic, and it's also a very supportive country. So
Yeah.
you know, but for example, when I went to the Netherlands not too long ago, and I went on a cab with my sister, I
Yes.
was a bit I was a bit fearful to say where I'm from, like because you don't know how people would react.
Mm.
And even in here, I have encountered a person who really like just said it to my face. That person was in my house, and we were like, supposedly in a friendly environment, and all of a sudden they go like, "Oh, you know that I'm pro-Palestine, right?" Like, just be
Just out
aware
of
of
the
that.
blue.
Out of the blue, it was so random, it was so unnecessary, and it really, really ruined for me the relationship because it's like we didn't
Yeah,
need
that's
to
sad.
be
That's sad.
political about it instead of like building a friendship, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Wow.
sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's scary because you really don't know how people would react. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable now, for example, to put a David Star necklace. Although I like in
Mhm.
general I don't put it, but
Yes.
if you would have like dared me to do so, I would be
You
a
were
bit
like,
afraid.
I think we
Yeah.
people need to separate politics from our personal relationships, because politics, there's some complex, things about it that I just rather prefer to leave politics out of my personal relationships. Patre
Definitely.
Chobi has a question for you. I'm not sure if you can
Yeah.
see it on the screen. He
Uh,
said, Mhm.
yes. I am not Sephardi. I don't know, like it's not considered Sephardi because you have the Sephardi as well, but I'm half Ashkenazi, half Mizrahi. So I have family that came from Yemen, and I have family who came from Romania. So I'm both, which is may I just say, like this is one of the things that really bothers me when I hear people
Yeah.
say like today come go back to Europe, because it's like I cannot split myself first of all and go
Mm-hmm.
half to Romania and half to Yemen, and nonetheless I cannot even enter Yemen because they would immediately finish me. So
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
yeah,
really sorry to hear that. Did he say Romania?
yes,
Oh,
I'm half
wow.
Romanian. Yeah,
Mm. Very, very
yeah.
interesting mix. Interesting mix.
You have so many interesting mixes in
Yeah.
Israel. You have Russian Ethiopian, which is one of the craziest, amazing.
Russian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that sounds
It's
like it's
a
gonna be a very
gorgeous.
beautiful mix.
It's an amazing mix.
Yeah. Wow. So going towards anti-Semitism, have you
Yeah.
noticed a change in how people treat you or talk about Jewish people recently? So you mentioned one of your friends just mentioned randomly that they were pro-Palestinian, and I'm sure
Mm.
that must have felt a bit awkward. But other than that, have you noticed a change in how people just generally, talk about Jewish people recently?
Uh, like going back to what you said at the beginning, I feel like many people don't really understand how what is exactly Jewish people. You know, many of them see us as the white this white Europeans, which most of Israel is not that at all. Most of
Hmm.
Israel is Middle Eastern.
I
So
found out
mo-
recently.
yeah, most of it is like either like me, like a combination, or just Mizrahi completely. And
Yeah.
both on that, you have 20% of Arabs. Most of them are Muslims, so not
Mm.
white. I would say not major,
Yeah.
not majorly white.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if it's I don't know if it's a change because I don't have something to compare it from before. But I feel like people are really outspoken with a lot of opinions that they have, which they don't always differentiate also like their opinions between an actual fact, uh, which for me personally bothers me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know, like it's really difficult. The media shows one thing. I don't know if it's necessarily the reality on the
Exactly.
ground, but from the social media, it feels like we're the most hated people on the world for me.
Actually, from how it's looking so far in the news, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not here to answer any questions. I'm just here to ask you questions. But just to add to that, from what I've seen on the social media, it's not looking really good. Um, so what's something that you wish people understood about Jewish life today?
Um, I would like them to understand like that it's a really, really tiny group. At the end of the day, and I asked friends of mine, and I invite everybody to do so with their friends just to see their reaction because it's really interesting in my opinion. To ask
Mhm.
how many Jews do you think exist in the world, and I received like 100 million, 1 billion, and it's like it's
Billion,
barely six. Yeah,
15.8 million, I think, worldwide.
yeah, yes, less than 16 million. And fun fact. Till this day, Jews have not restored the amount of Jews in the world compared to what it was before the Holocaust. The
Mm.
Holocaust have wiped out 42% more or less of the whole Jewish population in the whole world. And that
That is
is and that,
terrible.
and that is just the Holocaust. We're not even adding on that what happened in the Arab countries, where many
Mm.
were persecuted,
Yeah.
some fled, some were kicked out, lived under terrible
Yeah,
regimes.
really, really sad. We have a question for you from RP France. RP France says, "Wait, I'm just curious. I'm half Libyan Jewish, and like, are we Sephardi or Mizrahi?"
Mizrahi, as far as I know. Like
Ah,
you can double check it, but when we're talking about Sephardi, I believe it's those who came from Spain. At the end of the day, like some were expelled back in the days and found themselves in Spain. So that's what I would consider at least as Sephardic. Um,
mm,
but Mizrahi are all those who came from the Arab countries today. I would say
okay.
Mizrahi.
Mizrahi. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Mizrahi.
Yes, you're saying it perfectly.
It's
Yeah,
not too
Mizrahi.
bad. Yeah, I tried to learn a bit
It's
of
that.
I tried to learn a language. It's a bit tough, so I stopped at about three words: Bogatov, Manishma, and I think that's about it.
That is
Yeah.
perfect. That's perfect. I can teach you another one. If you'll ever visit Israel, which I really wish you would, and anyone who, by the way, has any opinions about Israel, I really recommend you guys to actually go there and see for yourself because the
Mm.
media is very, very,
Biased towards
very
you
not.
guys.
It's biased, and we're just a tiny minority compared to many people who want to spread lies, and lies spread faster than truth. So you know.
Mm.
But a word that you can use, or like a sentence, Chaim Shali.
Hayim Shali.
Yeah, it means my life. Like many Israelis would say, like Chaim Shali, can you do this and that, or Chaim Shali, do you want to go do this and that, or like
Hayim
that's it.
Shali. Okay. Hayim
Yeah,
Shali. Hayim Shali.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have a comment from Ridiska. It says, he or she, well, they say Israel is the most mixed nation in the world, and people try to use it against us by saying we aren't real Jews. When Jews were kicked out from Judea, they spread everywhere. You can see Chinese Jew today. Actually, yeah, I saw a
It's
video on Chinese Jews.
yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know where I saw it, but like when we were in Germany, they
Mhm.
said that we're not white enough. Now they're saying
Mm.
we're too white. They used to say we're too poor, now we're too rich. It's like, and
You can't be
that's why
right.
people say, yeah, that's why people
You
say like
never
it's
get it right.
anti-Jew, because it's like no matter
Yeah.
what you do, it's wrong. It's not okay. So
Mm-hmm.
how are we allowed to exist? In what way?
Yeah. Because you do A, it's wrong. You do B, it's wrong. You do C, everything you do is like people always want to, find fault. Um,
Yeah.
are there any misconceptions about Jewish people that you wish more people understood or challenged?
So we went through the white thing,
The white
also
thing.
and also the amount of Jews in the world. So like people, for example, this anti-Semitic trope that we control the world, which is like,
Mm-hmm.
if we would have controlled the world, I think things would have looked pretty much different in the media for us if we would
Uh,
actually have that power.
uh-huh, uh-huh,
uh,
uh-huh.
and that is something I really encourage people to check, to check, because I looked up like the most rich groups based on religion. So you have, first of all, Christians, then I believe it's the Muslims, Hindus, and only then Jews. So
Christians.
it's, yes, Christians
Wow.
have the biggest wealth in the world currently.
That's interesting. I've not heard that at all before. I thought it was the
Yeah.
Muslims because they have all those oil
Mhm.
rigs. They just wake up in the morning, there are oil rigs all around them. They have to be dodging like so many oil wells. They don't even need to do anything, you know.
Yeah, but I think they only have that. That's the thing. Like Christians, I feel like they have both like land and resources, but also they how do you say, like
Christians are very industrious.
negotiate, and yeah, and they create many things.
We
So like
create things as well. Yeah, the Christians try. Yeah, Christians try. Um, how do current events, like in the US or globally, impact your day-to-day sense of safety or belonging? If it's too vague, please let me know. But current events, like in the news, we see where Trump talks a lot about Israel. Sometimes it's like he's on the side of Israel, and sometimes it's like he wants Israel to chill a little bit, and then sometimes it's like the whole America generally are pro-Israel. Then later you find out that okay, actually they're more pro-Palestine than pro-Israel. And then some people want to
mhm,
sound balanced, but instead of sounding balanced, they end up, tilting to one side. And there are protests right now in America. Actually, there are protests everywhere around the world, and they sort of lean towards being pro-Palestine.
mhm, mhm.
So,
I
how do
mean,
current events affect you?
I don't know how many of those protests are actually pro-Palestine, rather than like, at least when we're talking about those who not initiate them, but like the leaders of those protests are kind
Mm-hmm.
of leaning on towards like the terror in a sense. Maybe you have
Mm-hmm.
like the majority, not really aware, that just goes along with the chants, but um, I feel like, at least for me, I do care, and I do really keep my eye on what's going on in the world, because it is relevant at the end of the day. For
Mm-hmm.
example, tomorrow is the Canadian elections, and I know that you guys, like in the UK, I think there should be elections soon, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah.
curious what's going to happen.
Oh,
Uh,
I wonder too. I wonder. But I think the way the UK is looking right now, the UK is leaning to the right. And people on the right are more loyalists. They're
so
loyalists.
I thought the same would be like with France, and then what happened
Oh,
with
France.
Le Pen, I think.
Yeah, there was some dodgy political tricks that they played around it. And that was
Yeah,
why France didn't lean left right anymore. Yes, they did
yeah.
some little cheating somewhere there. But yeah,
but but
interesting.
but one last thing, if I may, like,
Mm-hmm.
I mostly care about what's going on abroad, just from like other Jewish people point of view, because I
Mm,
think like it's really important for them to feel safe, and they deserve to feel safe just like everybody else.
yeah.
And I heard, like, I have a Slovak friend who like always lived in Slovakia, not an Israeli in any way. And it was really sad, because he told me that there are friends that he has till this day that do not know that he's Jewish, because they're
Wow.
really, really racist towards Jews. Like they
You
would
had to
have
hide it.
those really, yeah, they make awful comments about Jews. And even
Mm-hmm.
I have a Hungarian friend who told me just like really so nonchalant, that she has many friends who really like hate Jewish people, and it's really common
Just
to just like say really anti-Semitic stuff. It's really like normal, and it's weird, you know. For me, it's
me,
weird.
my take on life is that before anyone carries any idea or ideology to run with, you need to ask that question, why? Because people need to understand
Yeah,
why before doing anything at all. When you understand the whys, then you would know, you get the facts and actually know what kind of cause you're supporting. But what I find really sad in this generation is that people are like sheep. Some a trend starts and they just follow without thinking. They just keep going
it,
and keep going and keep going.
it's
You
not.
know.
It's not a coincidence. I don't know if you know about the. It's called conformity. Have you ever heard of it in psychology?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
It's this idea in psychology where they've done experiments and they've seen that our human nature, when being put in a group,
Yes.
even if the group says something wrong and you clearly know that it is wrong, you're most likely at a certain point, if you hear that enough, the wrong opinion, you will confirm to the group because you don't want to be an outcast.
Ah, I
And they
see.
show like, I really encourage you to see like experiments about it. It's incredible. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I
So like
think
people just hear many people say pro-Palestine, and yeah.
I think if I'm in a group like that, I'll get kicked out because I'm gonna be very different.
Same. I've always like had my own wave, and like staying
Yeah.
true to myself. But on
Mm-hmm.
what you said, I agree, and I think no group should be judged as a whole, and especially if people are pro-Palestine and look at that from like that view that to judge us as a group. If we take their point of view and implement it just backwards from our side,
Yeah.
then I should judge the all Arab Palestinians and make them all blamed for what some did. And I don't believe
Mm,
in that. Like
mm,
there is 5 million people living there. I don't know each and every person their opinion.
exactly.
Uh, and I love the Ask Project, by the way, if you heard of it on YouTube.
Ask. Oh
They
yes,
just
I've seen it.
amazing. So like that's what I like to do, to try and hear opinions. And I also just had friends that ran from Gaza, so to hear from their opinion.
That'd be amazing. I think one of these days I would like to get someone that's from Palestine, someone that's pro-Palestine as well, to just have a short chat, just talk about things and discuss, like heart to heart.
Yeah,
Anyway, guys, in the comment section, I want to say, if you guys stand for peace, guys, just drop some love in the comment section. If you believe
yeah,
everybody deserves safety, just drop a heart, drop us some love in the comment section, and also let me know where you guys are from. All right, just shout out the countries you guys are from, where you're from and where you're living in. Just drop them in the comment section, guys. We're gonna have a look right now. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, carrying on. Um, how do you emotionally navigate the increase in anti-Semitism for yourself?
so as we said, like I first of all, I try not to go into like hmm, wait, I need to think about it for a second. Like how do I navigate it? It's difficult.
It must be
I
tough.
try, yeah, but I just try to be me. I try to
Hmm.
show the kindness that I was raised upon. I feel like my mom has really put really good values in me, and I try to show that as much as I can. And I realize and I understand that some people will just not like me. Like we can never be liked by everybody. And if
Standard,
I
standard.
and if yeah, and if I feel somebody is judging me just because I'm Jewish and is anti towards me just because of that, then honestly, I don't need them in my life. I need better than
Mm.
that. I deserve better than that. And they don't deserve my company in that sense. And
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, like in this day and age, I can't imagine being a Jew. I can't just imagine how it feels. So, like me being black,
Mhm.
back in the day, like just a few years ago, there are places that we black people get a bit, worried to go to. Like, so
Really,
let's say in the, yeah. Like even like in the UK, when we move into a community and it is maybe, let's say, 95% white people, we just tend
Mhm.
not to move there because of,
Mhm.
the history of racism and how people are attacked. Just about over just maybe about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, there was some racial attacks and things. So a lot of people just, get worried just being black. And sometimes when they hear a black person speaking and they go, oh, this person's not from here, sometimes, discrimination. So that sort of affected us to some extent. But some of us know that this is just a minority and we didn't let that affect us. Like me for one, I judge people based on their merit. I interact with people. If
Yeah.
I feel they are racist towards me in a certain way, oh, I just stay away. I just know that okay, these are not the people I should hang out with. I just
Mhm.
tend to cut out people in a certain way. And also some white people to get some racist treatments from other minorities. We see it as well. Because they're like
Mhm.
it's like a backlash, it's like a revenge. They're like, no, no, no,
Mhm.
we don't want white people in this place. And we see it going on. So sometimes it causes some issue. But
Yeah.
being Jewish is different because you see, with the black people, there are many people across the world fighting for us. Then, even in the law, they put things in the law to cut out racism, cut out, discrimination, cut out things, and people were listening, and a few people try to change. But what I noticed with your anti-Semitism, it's like the whole world are uniting, are kind of uniting against you, especially since after October 7th.
Yeah.
My take is this. Okay, forgetting the history of the war. Some of us don't even know about the history of Israel and Palestine, the wars. We only know about October 7th. So
Mhm.
when I heard October 7th, right? So example, you are in your house.
Mhm.
So this was how we saw it because we didn't know the history of Israel Palestine. So
Yeah.
my take was I'm in my house, yeah, and then some random person I don't know comes into my house, kills a few people in the house, then takes a few of my kids, and they go run
Mhm.
away. And then I have intelligence, I know where they are. When I go to
Mhm.
where they are, I'm not even going to think about saying why did you do. I'm not going to ask any questions. Him
Mhm.
and everybody in his family, they're all going to be wiped out. That is just a
Yeah.
general human response, to being
Mhm.
attacked. That is what me. Anyone touches my family, like even if I don't have the means, I rather die, you know,
Mhm.
than just say, okay, I couldn't do anything, I just let it go. No, but that's how
Yeah.
we
Of
saw it.
course. Of
And but
course.
then the whole world uniting against you. I feel that third parties shouldn't take a side. You might come as a third party and think Israel is right, Palestine is right, these ones are right. But as a third party, I think if people want conflict resolution, they should more of be unbiased,
Mhm.
because they should try to encourage both sides to talk rather than putting more fuel to the fire and then supporting one side
Yeah.
like go, 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 destroy them, supporting one side, go destroy them. I think we need to have more of a
Yeah.
dialogue. But to be honest,
I,
like I said, it's tough being Jewish right now.
if like you touched on a few points that I would really like to add upon, if I may.
Uh-huh.
So the
Please.
first one, first of all, I'm so sorry for what everything that you went through, and I find it appalling. Um, and about you said at the beginning like that it's different when it comes to Jewish people. I agree, and I think the moment I really really saw it, and that I cannot till this day get out of my head, is the reaction of the universities in the U.S. You remember it
Mm.
with the head of the departments of Harvard and UCLA. I I quote, they were asked if calling for the genocide of Jews is against their law, like their conduct of their
Yes.
university, based on harassment and bullying. And they answered, and I quote, depends on the context. I cannot
Depends
even
on the
explain to you,
context.
yes, I cannot explain to you, I cannot put it in words. How did it feel to hear that? Because I needed to scratch my eyes because I thought it's not real, like it's completely surreal. And I had a family who are Holocaust survivors, and you hear
Oh,
about it, and
sorry to
and
hear
you
that.
see it's okay, and you see the number on their hands, And
I'm
like,
sorry. Sorry to cut you short. They have numbers on their hands.
yes, the Germans have marked the Jews in order to get each and one of them and to get rid of each one of them,
Oh
whether by
wow.
gas or just shooting them down in like a line. And they've marked them so they could organize, um, each and one of them that they get, so they could have
That
it.
is so sad.
It's messed up. And suddenly seeing them saying that, where I know if it would have been any other group, black students, Asian students, any other group, it would
Mm-hmm.
be cut clear that of course it's harassment, of course it's bullying, of course it's wrong. But suddenly when it's us, depends on the context. And then it hit me that that's how it started. Like, that's how the Holocaust was possible.
Hmm.
Um, and a second thing that I want to touch upon, you said
Yeah.
if somebody comes to your house, like the October 7th, it's not it's not just that. I feel like there's so many things that people don't even know. I feel like everybody in the world maybe know 10% of what really happened. So for example, you had a case, they shot dogs.
They
Dogs.
shot
How
dogs.
can
Yeah, I
people?
heard they shot dogs
Yeah,
as well.
they have filmed themselves with their GoPro shooting dogs and uploaded it to Telegram of Gaza, and we saw it live while it happening. They have killed a grandma, and they have used her finger to open her Facebook and open a live. And this is how her family had seen that their grandma, her granddaughter, saw her getting murdered in life. They have um, there's like so many messed up things, like shooting elderly, and they're filming it. They're doing it while they're filming it, and I don't know.
Uh,
It's like
there are
something I
things.
cannot.
Yeah, there are things I can't understand. To be honest, I can't understand, and
Yeah,
I'm like, humanity. How low can we go as humans? You know.
yeah,
Do you sometimes feel a pressure that you have to defend your entire community to people?
definitely, definitely. It feels, and this is why I said at the beginning that it's only my opinion, because
Mm,
sometimes it feels that because now I'm sometimes the first Jewish person somebody knows, or Jew that they know, and never like nonetheless the first Israeli that they know. It feels like a lot of pressure. Like, the way I act represents us as a group. If I do something wrong, or if I do any mistake, which, like, we're
hmm.
human beings, I
Yes,
may do a mistake. Uh,
absolutely. Yes,
yeah,
that's
but
human. It's
it's,
human.
yeah, like, you're very fearful of anything that you do, and I always think twice, like, how it may come off, because I think the way we think about many things, we can
Yes.
be sometimes very sarcastic, because
Hmm.
like we find help in joking and laughing, even on the
Mm,
most horrible
exactly.
stuff.
Humors.
Yeah,
Humor
yes,
helps.
it's just, yeah, it's like a mechanism. It's a really, really safety mechanism. But sometimes people don't know how to handle that, and Israelis are very not political correct in any way. We're very
Yeah.
not political correct. Say it as it is. I feel like
Yeah.
it's generally in the Middle East. You
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Just
say it how you
direct.
see it. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So,
Cool. Cool. So at
uh,
this
yeah.
point, like what kind of support or allyship feels like most meaningful to you right now?
Mm, First of
Like,
all,
mhm.
seeing, yeah, you were saying.
No, no, it's fine. Carry on.
Um, First of all, seeing me as me, not like any person. I'm worried at the end of the day, and I feel
Mm,
like with every Jewish person, Israeli person, like, get to know them, see them for who they are, not
mm-hmm.
with this identity in front of it. I think, like, do more research, like look more, because eventually the really messed up thing that I think mostly Israelis are aware of, and less in the West, is that the identity Palestinian did not come like in this sense up until like the 60s.
Mm,
Like, before that, it was really like on the low. And if we're talking prior to 48, like in British Mandate of Palestine, which
yes.
people tend to take off the British Mandate of Palestine. it referred to everybody. So like Jews as well. There were also Palestinians, and suddenly it's only like Arab Muslims who essentially are also not originally from there as well. And it's not to say that they shouldn't be there. Like every person should have the right
It should
to
be
live
free.
and
Yeah.
exist. But I think we should be honest about it. We should have an honest conversation.
Yeah.
Uh,
I agree.
so I think, yeah, like looking more and speaking more to people from their travel to Israel, see for yourself, ask people, and you'll see immediately how more complex it is than what you think. It's not black and white at all. Um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
the last thing I would say when it comes to anti-Semitism,
Yes.
there is I think it's called the 3 Ds of anti-Semitism. So delegitimize, dehumanize, and double standard. If somebody says that, I don't know, Jews have came to Palestine and occupied it, why aren't we saying like, okay, what about Egypt? What about the whole West? What about every country that was made to this day have made in this way? So why are we judging this only place? Like ask those questions. Notice those things that people have suddenly double standards. Like why
Yeah.
aren't we uh, talking about everything?
True. I like how you balance out everything for people to get into fact finding, because that's very, very important, fact finding. And
Definitely.
I have a few more questions, not a lot to go right now, not a lot. So I want to say thank you so far for your patience. I know some of the questions might be a bit tough, and you answering live. We're not editing this video, it's just raw,
Thank you.
unfiltered truth. Um, do you feel like the media and politicians are helping or harming when it comes to Jewish safety and representation?
Uh, Mostly from my point of view, they're doing most of the time more harm than good. Sometimes they want to do good, but it ends up being bad. Um,
Okay, can you elaborate further?
uh, uh,
If you have any
it's a,
points, that's all.
it's like I think that it's people are making it as if it's like a Jewish Muslim kind of thing when it's not just that. Like it's so much broader than that, and in a sense, by doing so, there are even like fueling anti-Semitism because there are
Yeah.
like people from other places look at it and say, "Oh, you see, you cannot say that about Jewish people because they'll do this and they'll do that," and it's like it's not what we want. We want protection. Yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but of course, it should be balanced with having the ability to have criticism and not really shutting off free speech, which sometimes it trips on that. There are
Mm-hmm.
sometimes,
Yeah, yeah,
and
sometimes it does indeed.
and just in general, the media, people need to understand that every news outlet, at the end of the day, is a business. They're looking to make money. The way
Yeah,
they make
yeah,
money is
clicks.
through fear and hate. And
Mm.
just a fun fact for the audience: I myself learned computer engineering, and the thing that
Wow.
sells the most, brings the most clicks, is hate. When people are angry and
Mm-hmm.
hateful, they comment more, they stay more, so they have all the incentive to pump this hate. So
Yeah.
don't fall for that. Don't give it a hand. Don't look at that. It
So
doesn't do good
basically,
to anybody.
they are monetizing people's hate, people's emotions. They try to push people to the extreme emotions, because that way it makes people want to move and act, because then people
Yeah,
stop thinking and they're just on that drive, just like, I don't like this, I don't like this, no, no,
yeah,
no, 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 and stuff like that. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what they say. If you're not paying for a product, you are the product. You are the product.
Mm. Actually,
You never heard of it?
have I heard that before? No. If you're not paying for a product, you are the product.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, nice one. I've got one statement to take back with me now. I'm gonna say that in my next video. I'll be like, guys, if you're not paying for a product, you are that product. So become members on my channel.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I want credit. No, no, I'm joking. Yeah. But it's true. It's definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very massive, lovely one. Yeah, wow. I really appreciate you coming here today and shedding some light here. Because of how
Wait, Shady, may I just say that
yeah.
you're saying shading light? My name is Light, by the way. Ori, the meaning of Ori means my light in Hebrew. So,
See, I had zero idea. Zero
yeah.
idea. Well, I really appreciate it.
Every
Yeah.
Israeli name almost has a meaning. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Like we Africans as well, when we give names to our children, we give names with meanings because it's like we're
Well,
prophesying into their lives for them to, be like their names.
that's
So,
beautiful.
yeah, so it's a very African thing as well. And I see, yeah, you guys do it as well. Actually, I think we got it from Christianity, where they said a name of a person does something about the person. I can't remember what it is. But so we try to give names that have real good meanings, you
Mhm.
know?
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So yeah,
We do the same. We do the same. And with my family, it's the funniest because my name, like originally, it was just Light. I added
Mm,
the genitive later.
mm,
And my siblings are Ma'ayan, which is like not a fountain, but like a kind of like a river, let's say, because I don't remember the exact word.
mm-hmm.
And my brother is Alon, which means like an oak tree. So if you combine us all
Okay.
together,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
the oldest. To the tree, she gives him
Okay.
water. I give him light.
It's
It's
like,
like,
oh, it's flourishing. Yo, that
yeah,
is
that's like
nice,
it's so.
man. Yeah, I think
Uh,
I need to meet your dad. He's giving some advice, life advice. Yeah,
you're
so
more than welcome. Yeah, if you'll come to
absolutely.
Israel and if we'll make it at the same time, I would love
Yeah.
to show you around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So you won't believe it, but we spent almost an hour. So honestly,
yeah.
I really appreciate it. So basically, the way I try to organize this is to ensure we ask questions that are not too sensitive because this topic is a very touchy topic. The first idea I had was for us to just sit here and just talk, just have a normal conversation and the
Mhm,
questions pop up.
mhm,
But with what I've seen so far on social media and how they respond to certain words, to certain things, I just felt like, okay, I
mhm.
better try to structure it this
Yeah,
way. But if we ever do anything like this, next time it's just going to be a conversation. So whatever pops up in the conversation, it pops up. It don't pop up, then that's fine.
mhm.
But we're going to try to just have a conversation about something else that, so hopefully not political at all.
I would love to. I would also love a one that is political, if you would like. There are so many things I feel like we haven't even
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
because it would take like forever to go through the whole history. It's so long, and so yeah. But I would
So
love to, like, for
I
any.
think, yeah, I think next time I get you on here, we're just gonna have a chat about how life in Israel, growing up, and just normal stuff like that. I would
Definitely,
definitely
for
love
sure.
to. Yeah. So thank you very much, Ori, for coming to the studio today. And the questions have been quite challenging, and I appreciate you choosing words that are careful, and I appreciate you trying to be unbiased and just coming out from the intellectual side, the factual side, challenging people to ask questions, to go into fact finding, because yes, you're Jewish from Israel, and from how things are going on, generally, people that are nationalistic will come out here saying, no, 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 it's Israel, it's our land, wipe out all our enemies, this is what we want. But I like the fact that you were level headed, you stayed calm and said, yes, both sides have a right to exist. Human beings have a right to exist. We as humans, there's enough land. We just sit down and talk and sort out issues. We don't need violence, okay? Because this land has been ours for ages. People feel they also have a right to that land. We understand, you're humans. Just chill. No need to kill anyone.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about it and then decide how to sort out our issue. No need for innocent lives to be lost. Plus, you guys have been through the Holocaust. Like, I've seen a few videos about it. I pray humanity don't go that way anymore. But human beings
amen.
have a way to, repeat history. But I hope it doesn't happen that way. Anyway,
Amen.
I
Amen.
wish you all the best.
I really pray myself that at some point we will be able to get to peace. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most optimistic about it, and maybe we'll
Mm,
talk about it again in the future.
yeah,
And I'll explain why. Like there is a realistic reason for that.
Okay.
But
All right.
I really wish that if it will happen, so hopefully it'll happen in my lifetime, so I'll be able to see it. You know.
Yeah. Good.
Amen.
Beautiful. Amen. Thank you very much for your time, and you have a very very lovely day, and we'll keep in
Thank you.
touch.
You
All right.
too. You
You
too.
take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Yes, yes, guys. Yes, guys. Thank you very very much, guys. So um I'm hearing so many mixed feelings. There's pride, there's fear, resilience. It's crazy how in 2025 we still have to fight just to exist peacefully. Just to exist peacefully, we humans have to fight for that. For violence to create peace. Can you imagine that? For It's like saying for black to create white. For violence to create peace. They're stark opposites. It is sad. But hearing, from Ori today makes me feel like, our community and the truth, we have powerful weapons. Okay. And guys, I want to say a massive love to everyone who joined today. Remember that empathy wins, love wins, humanity wins. If you love this live video, guys, make sure you smash like, subscribe, and share it. Okay, let's keep spreading positive conversations. It's all about love and togetherness. We all have a right to exist peacefully. We as human beings are higher animals. We can always sit down, have a talk, rather than making the letting innocents suffer for any ideologies. We can sit down, talk, sort out issues, and have peace. I think that is the way forward for humanity, rather than all the violence. I want to say thank you to you guys. I want to say thank you to you guys. Okay to go test. Thank you for joining. Benny Arusid. Hello there. Name person. Prince of 606. Maggie Fuchs. Thank you for joining, Maggie Fuchs. Patrick Chubi from Vietnam. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. Black Bomb Gigi. I want to say thank you to you too. And also for all of you guys that are here right now with me. I know a few of you still want me to check out like some music. I have a quick one for you guys, because I'm sure some of you probably do not know, but if you want more music, just make sure you check me out on here, guys. Make sure you check out my channel. So I've got this other channel here. It is my music channel. Here we go. In case you've not seen it at all before, this is my new my music channel. It's called Shady Mix. This is where I'll be dropping all the music videos, okay, for your entertainment. So make sure you go check it out. It will be music from all over the world, okay, all over the world. By the moment, we have some bangers. So guys, make sure you join me there as well. Okay, I really appreciate you guys taking your time to join this live. And guys, I'm going to catch you in the very next video. We'll be having more guests on this channel. Okay, and hopefully we'll get some artists as well, some celebrities to join us and have a conversation. All right. Do let me know what you think about this comment section. It's going to be a love and it's going to be a peace out from me, guys. All right, guys. Take care and see you soon. Bye.